Hi there, guys. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Got a little bit more of a difficult sort of like live for us to be covering today, but very important that it is that we do so with all of the sort of Adrenochrome, sort of like blood drinking, blood sucking, organ harvesting, and blood transfusions. Here we go, guys. We're going to be exposing today the vampire elite and what that is all literally around. As you can see, as you come in, there's about 7 videos that are there for you guys that have been made in advance. Some of those capturing the Hollywood elite, some of those also exposing some of these rituals, some of these sacrifices. Some of them are, exposing the music industry, the movie industry, and the like. Guys, it is really important that as the church we speak out against not only child trafficking but the sex trade, as well as those that are literally being used when it comes to the drinking of the blood, as well as the organ harvesting against consent. So as difficult a subject that it is, guys, I do apologize to you. It is something that we need to be looking at and exposing. This is what lies on the Father heart of God, I believe, is the love of children and the innocence as well. And he came that we would be set free, not enslaved into bondage. The rituals that we've seen these guys doing with the mocking and the scoffing, when it comes to the music, when it comes to the movies, when it comes to normalizing everything as well. Only have to look at the, sort of like animation with Monsters Inc., do we not? And really discover that the whole purpose of that was grooming the sort of like generation when it came to, adrenochrome and the drinking of blood, making that so adrenalized that apparently it gives these elites their longevity. It's this anti-aging, sort of like serum that they want to be sort of like having as well. And so really disturbing stuff. Guys, I'm hoping that this doesn't, sort of like trigger you too much, but it's really important that we expose evil for what that really is. So as usual, guys, we're going to be looking at this from a few different angles. As I said, there's those videos there ready for you as you come on in. Also, guys, just a little bit of a refresh that because of our Australian brothers and sisters literally having the digital ID and the proof of identity tyranny being rolled out to them in just over a couple of weeks on December the 10th, they're not going to be able to even access YouTube. They're not going to be able to access Google or even Rumble without submitting their data. And so I'll be honest with you, I've not wanted to return to this platform or the one that I'm going to promote to you now in Telegram. I'm being honest with you guys. If I say I'm done with something, I'm done with it. But if God says go back, I go back, and it's as simple as that. So we do have a Telegram channel up again, guys, where I am uploading onto that, as well as to Rumble, and continuing the commitment of being here 6 days a week on YouTube. So please do go over and see what's over there, guys. Last time we had a channel, we had over sort of like 12,000 articles, end time and articles, 900 and 800 posters and pictures and imagery when it came to videos as well, about 900 plus. And so here we are starting out again, hoping for those that actually don't have the option of being able to know really what's going on. It's important, I think, that as a church we make that little adjustment for our Australian brothers and sisters down under. So if you are Australian, then please do share that platform, because we're doing a lot more work now as a team in order to cater for you and your needs. And so thank you for those that are there, and also for the link that's in there for you guys now. Just a quick warning, one of the reasons, there were many that I left Telegram was solely because there was someone there impersonating me as well, and setting up groups trying to financially blag you and con you. And I thought that would all go away if I was to leave, because I wanted to have some space that was safe for you. So do be careful. There's no money requests there for you. There's no sort of like startup alternative groups. It is literally videos that we put on. So I put up a video there this morning for them because I want to get back into that rhythm of making sort of like videos again. I have been a bit rusty. I have been sort of like away from sort of like creating a little bit, and just like mountain climbing and rock climbing, you lose your feel if you're away from it for a bit too long. And so please, excuse me as I get it better and better and better into making those again, being behind the scene as well. And so there is a video up around the 10,000 Brits over here that have literally been arrested and charged for online posts and the like. Some really interesting clips there for you. That has also been put up on Rumble as well. So please do watch out when it comes to some of those. Don't go anywhere now. Come and stay with us as we sort of like explore this sort of like article as well. Hoping that you've also been able to see the 2 articles that we put up, or at least the 2 posts with the read all about it, and then you can read all about it too, just those front time and headlines. The good thing about that being on Telegram is that you can click into the whole article this time and not have any nonsense, because I'm also not prepared to submit to the verification process that it wants me to in order to put those links in. I will wait out until I've served my time with a 3-month sort of like reset of the strike, unless I get another one, and it's all good. So here we go, guys. Going to be looking at this article that is titled Vampire Elite Exposed, the Blood Harvesting, Young Blood Transfusions, and Hollywood's Modern Bloodsuckers. If you're not wanting to sit down through this, then you can go and have some of those visuals or the like afterward. You can have a little look at some of the thumbnails that we've got there if this is a little bit too much for you on a Saturday. I'm very aware of that, but the Lord's wired me as such that we can address and cover these particular things. So can we just go through some headlines just to give us a bit of a refresh when it comes to the sort of like blood drinking and the adrenochrome? This is literally when they adrenalize the blood out of children, and they've got all of these sort of like sports and huntings as well. We're going to cover some stuff, guys, that is a little bit ooh. So I'm not surprised that many people are going to be wanting to watch this, and they'll understand if you turn away. But Father God does not turn away. He turns toward, and we're going to do the same thing here. Articles coming out. Putin exposes the adrenochrome to millions, forms a global alliance to destroy what he calls as the devil's narcotic. Here you go. Putin has seen enough, apparently. The blood, the children, the lies. For years, the West mocked the whispers of a satanic cabal. Now the mask is slipping. Here also in other headlines, mass graves of thousands of children killed by Obama's adrenochrome ring discovered on U.S. soil. Mass unmarked graves has been discovered on U.S. soil. Thousands of children buried in silence, and the trail leads directly to Barack Obama. Here, Khloe Kardashian joins the adrenochrome jet set with an illegal plasma infusion harvested from young blood. All right, Khloe Kardashian secretly traveled to Mexico to undergo a clandestine Muse cell infusion, an illicit blood plasma procedure sourced from the bodily fluids of very young children, and is strictly banned in the United States. This is what I'm saying. So when people want to be hooking up with these, guys, when it comes to watching their programs, when you will also find in there sort of like Tom Hanks, a absolute leading pedophile as well. Stop watching these guys' movies. All right, please boycott these individuals. Don't go supporting them, because this is what they do with their money. This is what they do with their resources. They want to fly over to Mexico and have this sort of like demonic ritual and blood transfusion that's banned over here or in America. We need to be thinking about that, guys, especially when money and our resources are also, sort of like tight at the moment, for some of us anyway. Las Vegas police expose an Israeli adrenochrome ring in the United States that is being protected by government agencies. All right, as hard as it is for me to expose Israel, I will as well, because we have to expose the evil and the wickedness. Israel is the paedophile capital of the world. For those that go out and cover Israel, do Israel justice and speak out against these tyrannies. Speak up for the children, for the Adrenochrome rings, the paedophile rings, all of those that get missing, all of the sort of like, Kirk family that end up, shipping them all off over to Israel, so that they can be literally systematically done there. And if it's not, then it's also organ harvesting, those from the Palestinians as well. The evidence and information is up and out there, guys. This is why some of these guys and world leaders aren't wanting to be too quick when it comes to interrupting what's going over in the Ukraine. And we're going to cover that in a moment. But it's really important that there is such an enormity of protection in and around that. And people are being taken out, down and out, for exposing this. Here you go. Hulk Hogan was about to expose Hollywood's adrenochrome. Sorry, it's really difficult with my crappy teeth. Adrenochrome industry before he died. Many others, famous celebrities that were about to report on this, literally got taken out. Wrestling icon Hulk Hogan was found dead in his Florida home. Authorities rushed to declare it as a heart attack. Natural causes, they say. But behind the scenes, those who knew him are saying something very, very different. Here, Russia intercepts adrenochrome shipment from Israel containing blood of 10,000 children. Russia intercepts adrenochrome shipment from Israel containing blood of 10,000 children. According to a leaked report from Russian intelligence, an Israeli vessel carrying the largest adrenochrome shipment ever recorded was intercepted by Russian forces at the Tartus naval base in Syria. Destination, Hollywood, USA. And when you match this up, guys, okay, to the images that we have, all right, the befores and afters of some of these celebrities, all right, when all of a sudden this supply is being cut and how dramatically they've been aged, all right, as well as, what happens with those that seem to just like the Keanu Reeves almost never appear to age whatsoever. And then we're looking also at, Sam Altman wanting to create all of these babies and all of these clones. And then you got Peter Thiel coming all in, wanting to, pursue this quest for immortality. All right. Can you guys join the dots? I'm sure you can. For whatever you might think of this individual, Michael Jackson exposed the Israeli adrenochrome ring before he was murdered. Some of these celebrities who were in there had enough of seeing all of this go on. These were the ones that had the inside scoop. These were the ones that were invited to the parties. These were the ones that went there, and instead of having a banqueting feast, they would have, bodies there, would be their models that they'd eat off, that they'd drink off. All right. This is that. Putin exposes Israeli child trafficking network supplying adrenochrome to Hollywood and DC. All right, it all sort of like roads lead to old dodgy, shady, Benjamin Netanyahu and his government, let alone all of the rabbis that were also arrested in these child sex trafficking rings. Putin, John Podesta, wanted dead or alive following Davos adrenochrome bust. For years, the Kremlin has tracked the rise of the adrenochrome underworld, an elite-driven black market fueled by terror, ritual, and unthinkable depravity. Where? Right at the heart of Davos. Here, Obama exposed as major adrenochrome trafficker by official government documents. Can we sort of like be, we're all very aware of their perversions and their lusts. Continuing with this, Putin's adrenochrome task force busts underground Israeli child trafficking network. Tulsi Gabbard exposes Fauci's Ukraine biolabs as an adrenochrome factory. This is why they're not too quick to want to, get peace and shut that all down. Putin's Adrenochrome unit intercepts private jet trafficking children through Greenland to DC. This is why it's all getting very contentious, because you're going to want Trump, who's going to want to feed these elites. And that's why he wants this as part of his 51st state, the first kingdom to the Club of Rome's, end-time kings. Footage exposes Hunter Biden and Ellen in Adrenochrome bust in South Africa. Trump gives Zelensky 30 days to hand over VIP Adrenochrome client list. And now you're seeing everyone get all sketched out. This is why you've got all the elites dumping all of their stock as you've got the Epstein files coming out. Have you got all of these coming through? All right. Lo and behold, anybody who will actually sort of like give out these names, they will not be alive for very long, I tell you. And you got that Marjorie Taylor Greene, all right, who's going to be thinking of doing that in the sort of like, out loud. Really dangerous. Here, Wendy Williams releases Diddy tape proving, and this is it, this is why you boycott these individuals, proving Angelina Jolie runs Hollywood's Adrenochrome ring. You've seen them on the videos that we've got here in the top chat that I placed in there. You will see the interview that was done behind secret doors, closed doors, in front of her and her friends, talking about the blood rituals and the sacrifices and everything else. She is a part of all of that. Zelensky's officials exposing Hollywood's Adrenochrome ring has been assassinated in public. This is what happened when you expose these guys. Here, Mel Gibson's Adrenochrome task force rescues kids in tunnels connected to Tom Hanks' mansion. There was a video that I put in around just solely Tom Hanks. Prolific, him and his whole generation. Here, Russian leader assassinated after busting Adrenochrome factory in Ukraine. Russia intercepts an Israeli jet trafficking Adrenochrome victims. Where? To Hollywood. Denzel Washington. Hollywood's elites are taking Adrenochrome tours of the Ukraine. The Hollywood elite practice an occult religion that involves the sacrifice of children and the consumption of their blood, according to veteran Denzel Washington, who has joined a growing list of celebrities willing to blow the whistle. Celebrities and CEOs facing life in prison as Diddy's Adrenochrome ring busted wide open. This Taylor Swift. Insider leaks Adrenochrome contract elites must sign to join Illuminati. Taylor Swift is a control freak who forces her own family members to sign non-disclosure agreements to spend a single afternoon in her company. Why do you think that is? Here, Adrenochrome Task Force rescues hundreds of kids trafficked by Marina Abramovich. So now you understand with the Angelina Jolies and then all of these Oprah Winfreys, all of these guys that want to be apparently rescuing children from Africa and India. Really? Oh, I haven't got the heart to drink this one's blood. I haven't got the heart to sort of like, skin them alive and then, consume their body parts. This is no joke, guys. Do you see the connection? And this Marina Abramovich, she likes doing witchcraft in front of loads when it comes to Glastonbury. We're going to cover that in a moment. Whistleblower Nancy Pelosi murdered a child in horrific Adrenochrome ritual. Adrenochrome whistleblower Zelensky and other leaders are addicted to children's blood. Been grooming everybody up for years, haven't they? This vampire ball, as Putin turns around and says. Here we go. Putin again. Adrenochrome task force intercepts an Israeli ship trafficking hundreds of children Please see that video that we've got there, the evidence of that, as they're going down into these tunnels, and you see all of these children there, absolutely horrified and petrified. And if you were to look out on the field, you'd see that there's nothing there until you go some closer inspections and realizing that there's trenches that go down and in and around, and they're there. And there's a little bit of combat that you see in that, which is really good, because you get to see a few of these, you know, Ukrainian soldiers just get them taken down before you end up going into this big room where you expect there to be gold or, you know, munitions or money or whatever, you know, drugs and alcohol. But no, children. Russia rescues hundreds of adrenochrome victims destined for Washington, D.C. Busted. Secret Hollywood pharmacy caught selling adrenochrome pills to elite celebrities. And that's just one part of what it is that we're going to be looking at today, guys. Here's another part. Let's have a look at the organ harvesting. This is the depravity. So when we say, my brothers and my sisters, okay, you've got to be really sick in the head to want to depopulate everybody and kill everybody off. Can you understand how for these guys that are the elites, that's not too far a stretch of the imagination, is it really? When you think about what it is that they're really doing behind closed doors. Or we're not allowed to have that conversation on the wall now. Canadian officials praise euthanasia programs as a huge success for organ harvesting. Canadian officials have praised Canada's euthanasia program as a huge success for boosting the organ harvesting industry, according to researchers. A new study reveals that organs taken from people killed in the country's medical assistant in dying programs are being harvested without the consent. It's the same thing over here in the UK when it comes to being a donor, so that your organs are used, you know, and sold off. Unless you deliberately sign out, you or opt out of that, and make sure that that's on your file, all right? And the doctor is very aware of it, and even then, would it really matter? All right, you're already going to have your organs harvested should you die. Here we go. No one wants to talk about what royalty does do it. Well, there's a video in here as well which exposes King Charles and what he does when it comes to his hunting parties, which is what this is all about. The Olympic Games were never created, all right, so that everyone around the world could see who was the best sportsman and the best sportswoman. Not at all. It was just a cover so that the global elites could have their hunting parties. I would implore you to go over to our Rumble channel, all right, and see the Olympic Games video there pertaining to this, because this is also what they do. Here you go. Voila. We've talked around Zelensky, talked around Putin, we talked around the presidents of the United States. All right. How about we come back over here to Europe? Spanish royal family linked to organ harvesting of trafficked children. And as you can imagine, there's an absolute media blackout. A confidential medical source has exposed the Spanish royal family's link to organ harvesting of trafficked children, with a recent kidney transplant in Madrid involving an organ stolen from a kidnapped Latin American child. In the US, man declared brain dead wakes up during organ harvesting surgery. A registered organ donor who was declared brain dead woke up just as surgeons were preparing to harvest his organs. Whistleblower reveals China is sequencing DNA of billions for forced organ harvesting. So when they're doing all your little swabs and everything else, and they're putting them somewhere, where do you think they end up? On some list. So that on your file, when you go into the hospital, they'll already know whether or not they're going to treat you, or whether they're going to kill you, or what they're going to do. All right. You telling me that this isn't possible, that this doesn't happen. Sorry, the evidence is overwhelming in the videos that are put there, in the things that I'm reading out in articles that you don't get elsewhere, guys. And the rest of the world ain't talking about it. So they haven't got the balls to do so. Mainstream media acknowledges China's organ harvesting problem. And many of these guys that are in China are Christians that are having their organs harvested. Our brothers and our sisters, not just Tom, Dick and Harry. Mainstream media and Western governments have finally decided to acknowledge the growing problem with China's harvesting of organs from its political prisoners. We'd expect this from ISIS, wouldn't we? ISIS sanctions human organ harvesting. Here, HHS confirms US hospitals making millions by harvesting organs from living patients. And who do you think that that's going to? We had a meme the other day, wasn't it, where it was a case of just like, you know, over in America, in the UK, it's a case of, well, I've got a sore toe, right? That's going to be a waiting list for like 3 years. Okay. And then an American was like, right, I've got a sore toe. Oh, well, that's going to cost you $67,000. And then you got in Canada, oh, I've got a sore toe. Have you considered dying? RFK warns hospitals are illegally harvesting organs from alive patients, and their definition of what's dead is a very, very grey area. But we're going to get into that a little bit more in a moment. Canada, caught harvesting the blood and organs of babies for elite VIPs. The Trudeau regime is expanding the nation's assisted suicide laws to include babies. Why do you think there's this push for, you know, abortions? Allowing doctors to euthanize young children for profit. Canada's diabolical medical assistance in dying program has announced that many organs have been sold. Here, Stanford University, harvesting blood and organs of children could help achieve immortality. And in a moment, I'm going to read out some of these sort of like headlines from other sort of like reputable places. So you've had the Stanford University there. In other cases, you've got New York Post. In other cases, you've got the Telegraph. Quite a few, you know, agencies at the moment are just trying to normalize this for everybody. Oh, can drinking blood really, you know, work out longevity? Here you go. University of Pittsburgh admits harvesting organs from babies who were gruesomely aborted after birth. China, forcibly harvesting Christians' organs. What did we just say, guys? Tribunal says, and it is one of the worst atrocities of the century. This is our brothers and our sisters. China found, you know, harvesting organs from prisoners of conscience, as well as Christians. China organ harvesting dissidents. Israel caught harvesting organs from dead Syrians. Here in the UK, I'm complicit in medical murder by dismemberment. A doctor speaks out about UK organ donation horror. Canadian doctors euthanizing useless citizens to harvest organs for the deserving. Kenya won't let citizens become data harvesting guinea pigs for eye scanning world coin. Whistleblowers. Ukraine is harvesting children in Adrenochrome labs for VIP elites. And here, even Amazon accused of illegally harvesting kids' data via Alexa-powered smart speakers. Starts out very subtly, doesn't it? Now we're going to look to the other aspects of this when it comes to the satanic rituals pertaining to this, guys. We spoke of this earlier, didn't we? Marina Abramovich performed satanic ritual in front of 250,000 people at Glastonbury. Justin Bieber, Jay-Z rapes and murders children in satanic rituals. Be careful of when you're buying these people's music, watching their films, buying their products, looking upon them with envy at their lifestyle. Just consider their eternal destination and the wrath of God that was placed upon them. A milestone will not suffice. Here, Hollywood star admits elites use children's blood in sickening satanic rituals. It's the same thing that they had over at CERN as well. Videos you'll find in our sort of top chat that I put in there for you. All right, where these guys are having this sort of like, you know, literal ritual outside CERN's headquarters. Someone captured them, you know, performing that. It was demonic. Astral World Witnesses claims show that Killed 8 was in fact an Illuminati satanic ritual. US to host largest ever satanic ritual. ABC News accidentally airs VIP elites performing a satanic ritual to millions of viewers. Do you remember that? When it just mysteriously cut in? Here, 2 illegal aliens sentenced to 40 years for murdering girl in satanic rituals. Model who accused Italy's prime minister of hosting satanic rituals was found dead. Catholic priest blow whistle on satanic ritual child abuse in the Vatican. LAPD UCLA professor murdered during Hollywood's satanic ritual. It's so depraved, guys. Catholic nuns arrested for performing satanic rituals on 60 children. MS-13 gang sacrifices underage American girls in satanic rituals. Will Farrell performs satanic ritual live on TV. Pedophile who raped and tortured little girl in satanic rituals was executed in public. Satanic confessions. Satanic rituals performed in abortion clinics. Nikola Tesla ashes used for satanic rituals, shocking claims. Enoch Powell links to satanic rituals abuse named by bishops in sex abuse probe. Mel Gibson, Biden sacrificed by Illuminati as new satanic leader selected in ancient ritual. Industry Insider reveals Taylor Swift is performing satanic rituals at Eras Tour concerts. These guys that just want to come out with this big demonic show and tell, do they not? Here, Mina Suvaru's sister says Hollywood's elite raped her as a kid during satanic abuse ritual. Taylor Swift, back to her again, or him, however you want to look at it, murdered a fan in satanic blood ritual to join the Illuminati, the insider claims. Cosmopolitan magazine promotes satanic abortion ritual. Satanic Temple announces grand opening of free abortion clinic in New Mexico to perform rituals. Even Britney Spears saying I was subjected to satanic Illuminati rituals. Satanic Temple joins the Democrats in fighting against Texas's abortion law. Satanic abortion rituals are our right, apparently. Antifa conduct satanic occult ritual in Boston street. They eat blood, heart, which are symbols of their rituals. Satanic witch Marina Abramovich says Trump is a high magician, creating chaos for a new order. Unbelievable. Police chief's daughter accuses him and others of ritualistic rape and abuse in shocking lawsuit. And I'll leave this one here. Survivors claim that the Knesset members and other senior figures in Israel took part in sadistic sexual rituals involving children. This is what the Lord has to say about this. 1 Corinthians 10:20. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You cannot partake of the table of the Lord and the table of the demons. Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? The murderer that is John 8:44. You are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. It's all in the blood, guys, isn't it? We are saved by the precious blood of the Lord Jesus. It is all in the blood for these guys. That's why Satan's so hell-bent on it. He was a murderer from the beginning, was he not? And does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and shrewd in their own sight. And our blessed hope is John 1:5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. 1 John 5:19. We know that we are from God, and the whole world lies in the power of the evil one. Does it just? Hi there, guys. That was a bit of a heavy sort of like 35, wasn't it, man? But come on there now. We've got to do this, haven't we not? Because I'm telling you this before I check in with you dear people. All right. I know I'm a bit of a I know I can be a bit I get that, but can I just tell you right now, the 22 that are watching here right now, when we come back, all right, after we're raptured and we are going to be going into these mountains, you and I are going to be rescuing these children. We're going to be rescuing these factories where they're being organ harvested. We're going to rescue all of these terrified children, all of these abused and raped women. We are going to be rescuing them. We're going to be, feeding them and no doubt praying over them and be able to, miraculously heal them or whatever. And there'll be such a psychological scarring of so much. That's what we're going to be having when we return. At the moment, this is all done, behind closed doors for the most part. But when we are taken out of here and the church is off the earth, it's going to be absolutely everywhere. There is going to be such a bloodlust. Chopping off heads, that's going to be a norm. That's why they want to normalize their sexuality and put pedophilia in alongside the alphabet people so that they can really come out. And it's important that we prepare ourselves for that, because the Lord might ask you, go over to this place. There's a factory there, or underneath that floorboard, there's a whole load of children. Go and rescue them. Go and take them to safety. Bless you guys. So please, I'm hoping that you've been able to see this sort of like the videos that are there as well. I know this is really, really, really heavy. All right. But we don't turn away from the difficult subjects here. This is really happening. What happens if this was your sister or if this was your child? Hi, Sherry. God bless you. Hi, Raincry. Good to see you. Hi, Obey. Bug eaters. Hey, brother and everyone. Bless you. My first live I met. I'm usually sleeping because in California. Yeah, I'm aware it's a little bit later, guys. We're doing a lot more work now. Because we're kind of like doing. I'm making a video. I'm trying to make a video every day so it can go onto Telegram, and then I'm duplicating what I put in the read all about it sections in the community posts, and then I'm throwing more of that over onto other platforms as well. And then I also need my time in the morning just to say, okay, Lord, I've got to maintain my own walk. And then I come back, then I prepare all of this. Then there's all of the other community posts as well. So I'm kind of like drifting a little bit later and later and later and later. And it's okay. So I'm glad that you're here as well, because there'll be some people like down under, they'll be staring at their eyelids right now. But when they wake up, there's stuff there for them. And we've got to be thinking about that. And as a bride, as a family, as being one, we've got to help these Australian brothers and sisters out. It's only be a matter of time until I'm not going to be able to post up and they're going to say, right, in order to access YouTube, you've got to come up with some verification. Look what they're already wanting me to do, just to pin a comment or just to be able to add a sort of like link. I won't yield to it. And there's some of my Australian brothers and sisters down under who aren't also prepared to yield to that. So how are they ever going to be able to watch some of this stuff or read all about it in that sense, unless we're accommodating that need for them? And that's our hearts. That's our heart. So I'm really glad that you're here as well, because all around the block we get to, see different folk. So bless you. Bless you. Hi, Cher. Good to see you. Does Dan know this is Saturday? Yes, ordinarily, guys, it is my day off. All right, but it was a case of we took Tuesday off because I was like, I needed Tuesday. It was like I looked at Christmas when that was all about Boxing Day and Christmas Eve, and it all fell in the midweek. I was like, right, okay, great. I'll be covering that then. And because I live on my own, I'm on my own 24/7. I think, well, I'll just carry on working. It won't make any difference to me. It's just a pagan holiday anyway. Jesus was born a lot earlier, but it's just like I'm aware that that's going to be the case. So I thought, well, before it all gets stressful, materialistic, and all the prices go up, and I can't afford that, I'm going to get what's for my girls. And I usually just sort of like, sadly, just knock on the door, ring the doorbell, leave it in the porch, and go. That's it. I don't get anything from them. It's sad, I know, but that's just how it is. Anyway, so I'm going to be carrying straight on over Christmas. So we took Tuesday off. So I was like, well, I ain't taking another day off. We'll just plow on through. And that's what we're going to do. So thank you. Yes, thank you, Shay, for also putting in our Telegram channel there as well. That's really important, guys. If you want some of these articles that you think, it looks really good, an article, but then you can't read it because YouTube's being a retard and doesn't want to put me or allow me to have a link, and you can go and click into it and you can read the whole thing. It's really good. Hi, Laurie, bless you. It's really good. I'm so predictable with you guys. I love that. It's like, yeah, I did. And I did say yesterday, if any of y'all were paying attention, that I would be here again today. And I had a really long prayer walk as well. And it was like really, really, it was one of those sort of prayer walks that you have. I don't know if you're a bit like me, but if you're really in the moment with the Lord and you're just sort of like, I just had one of those and I thought, I'll go around one more time. I'll go around one more time. And that was it, and that was just like awesome. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Obey Buggy, as Elon now saying jobs will be optional, like playing video games. Exactly. We're just going to be replaced, you know what I mean, and thrown down the food chain when it comes to these humanoid robots. That's what old Jeff Bezos is doing, isn't it, with his Amazon? And now he's doing that with all of his humanoid, and he wants his army. These humanoid robots that the Chinese have, and Musk is coming out with, and others as well, they're literally going to be hunting, Christians through the tribulation. They literally are. So you really need to see and keep your eye on what's happening with these robots, is what I do, but also the Boston Dynamics Inc. as well, with some of those sort of like tech and whatnot. You need to work out what these silly dogs that can come up and do stuff. And then over here in the UK, you've got sort of like Uber Eats with some little, robot delivering your food. No, I mean, you're going to get a few of the homeless crew coming at that with machetes and axes and just think, oh, this is cracking. This is, thanks, mate. I know I would. If I was on the street, I'd be like, right, you're going nowhere, son. You know what I mean? I'd have some of that. So I don't know how long that's going to be. And they had it in drones as well, didn't they? Delivering food. It's like completely and totally just showing we don't need humans after all. You're obsolete. You can go bye-byes. You can punch your own ticket out if you like. We've got medical assistance and dying. That'll help. Or we've got euthanasia bills. Or we've got some of these bad boys that we've been talking about. But nah, not a fan. Elon, bless him. I like that. It's important we have this time to check in there now. Hi, daughter Vishka, bless you. Sherry saying, I don't watch any of the new junk that's out. I just watched an episode of Rawhide. Yeah, sometimes I've been doing some of those golden oldies, man. You can't knock the golden oldies. Some of those movies are like so amazing. It's like there's no blasphemy. When someone gets sort of like injured and stuff, you're like, oh, that's some quality Heinz catch-up, that is, man. And the special effects are just rubbish. But then the musical score is so okay. So I'm a little bit down with that. There's times when I'm just like, I can't. I won't. No. Oof, what were you thinking? I spend half my time turning away. They've got sex scenes, and I'm like, oh, don't want to see that. And then they got sort of like, other times it's like blasphemy. And every 10 minutes I'm saying, is Lord, is Lord, is good, and it's just like, oh Lord, forgive him. And I'm like that because I can't stand it. The blasphemy to some of that stuff. So I'm a bit like you. I'm going a bit old school. But then there are some times, and I've got to admit, when some of the movies are just like awesome when it comes to carnage and special effects, I kind of got to admit that. And that's the discipline I'm working on. Yeah, exactly. Hulk Hogan, cause of death. Yeah, the Masons. Oof. Yeah, saying here they have used fetal cells in Pepsi products, example for flavors, gums, Vax, cosmetics, and a bunch more we probably don't know about. Father God will judge not soon enough. Oof, yes, absolutely. Could you imagine that when Father absolutely does leave the reservation? Do you know what I mean? And absolutely rolls up the sleeves, and it's just like, oof. Do you know what I mean? You would not want to see, Father's eyes, like, would you? You'd be like, oh no, wouldn't want to be you, dude. Imagine walking past heaven, and it's like, oh, we're going to go and have a barbecue, go have some friends, and you see like the Fauci's just like walking into like the throw room. You're thinking, oh, look out there now. Do you know what I mean? You think, oh. Or if there's some people that you really like, you know what I mean, like the Bill Gates, I'd be like, hang on, let's just wait here. I want to hear this. I want to see that boy being dragged out, screaming, weeping, and gnashing of teeth, man. Do you know what I mean? I want to see the look on the face on the angel that's just like, I heard about you. Come here, son. Do you know what I mean? And then it's a case of, okay, we can go now. Could you imagine? These guys have got no fear of the Lord. They think that they can just gob off to the Lord, the King of heaven and earth, as if he's some absentee landlord that he's not, and just do that. But yeah, you're right, Cher. They've been throwing in aborted baby fetuses into everything. That's why these, COVID vaccines are so beastly and ghastly. Ugh. Let alone Mackie D's and McDonald's, whatever. You do not want to be going around any of those as well. This is where they get rid of all of the evidence. That's why it's everywhere. Lois saying, yeah, hearing about some of the movies as well. They're grooming about it. Daughter Fishka saying, I guess I'm going to see what movie y'all are talking about, and the kids are in a little hole. Yeah. And you don't, it's so innocent, isn't it? It's so innocent. And how Disney just like turned literally so to the dark side. And I love that Disney is starting to go down, because it's like, nah, you ruined it, man. Do you know what I mean? You is not family friendly no more. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Laura. Bless you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, save the kids. Absolutely. This is what we will be doing. That's what we're asked to do. Speak up for the children, for the marginalized, for the aliens, for the alienated. Speak out for the oppressed, the widows. This is what we're to be doing as Christians. Exposing evil, Ephesians 5:11, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness. Have nothing to do with it. Don't go watching it. Don't go listening to it. Don't go buying any of it. And definitely don't go eating or drinking. None of that. Yeah? But expose it. That's what the holy word of God says. And that's what we're going to do up in here then now. Hi, XX Crazy K. Acclamation. Yeah, that's where much of our body's down. Yep. You're having a good old conversation here. It is all about the shining, isn't it? It's just like sick. Yeah, absolutely, Laurie. These evil people will answer to God. Oh, Christian Bale. Oh, that Muppet. Oh, I used to like Christian Bale as well, until he goes on the stage and says, "Hail Satan." And I'm just like, oh, dude, dude, what? No, no. No, and that's it. You there's lines with me. It's like, and I'm a bit like, dum, 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 another one bites the dust, isn't it? Because like, never gonna watch anything of yours ever again. Another one gone, and another one gone. All right, let's continue with this, guys. I know this isn't easy. We are going to look at, brothers and sisters, the article coming out about the vampire elite exposed. But as always, guys, we want to be doing some things thoroughly here, just to talk about this a little bit more in depth. The blood of children. Got to come out and say that the blood of dear children is the most expensive, addictive drug in the world. Real controlled elites consume adrenochrome regularly. The blood is, and this is it, I'm sorry guys, but you might want to put your fingers in your ears, but I'm sorry, but how else are we ever going to know these things and expose this? I'm going to come out and say it. Forgive, I mean, it's even horrible just saying it. The blood is harvested by skinning the child alive so it's adrenalized. It reverses aging and gives them spiritual superiority. So it's either done by skinning or it's done by hunting them down. So adrenochrome, it is an immortality serum obtained from the adrenal gland of living children after they have been terrorized to get the highest levels of adrenaline. It has LSD-like qualities and is used in satanic rituals by monarchies, politicians, congressmen, celebrities, CEOs, and the elite. Adrenochrome and the kids are their drug of choice. So why is the Ukraine so key? Where it's also fresh, not frozen. Human fetal stem cells are big over there, where they literally carve up parts of the body and sell each part, like your eyes, your hands, your limbs, your ears, etc., for various amounts of money, as well as having these adrenochrome factories in place, including the sex trafficking of children. Here you go. In the shadowy realm of conspiracy theories, few topics have captured the imagination of fear of enthusiasts like adrenochrome. This mysterious substance, rumored to be harvested from the adrenal glands of terrified individuals, has become a central figure in various conspiracy narratives. Not so. While mainstream science dismisses these claims as unfounded and baseless, yes, of course they would, the allure of adrenochrome persists, weaving a web of intrigue and suspicion. The origins of adrenochrome conspiracy theories can be tracked back to 20th century with Aldous Huxley's 1954 novel Brave New World, often cited as an early influence. In the book, Huxley describes a dystopian world where a powerful elite class indulge in the consumption of a substance derived from the adrenal glands of human beings, producing euphoria and heightened awareness. What I also want to bring to your attention here, guys, is that the EpiPen also has adrenochrome, isn't it, in it? Who would have thought adrenochrome is in an EpiPen? I'm guessing many wouldn't know what they're really injecting into their bodies. Right there, black and white. And this is what Mark Zuckerberg had to say. You might want to think about getting off, stupid Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg said, although many humans find participating in and observing sexual congress to be both pleasurable and fulfilling, I sometimes find it challenging to observe the subsequent removal of adrenochrome from the smaller participants, as illustrated in the photograph below. Ingesting, this is what he said, ingesting the adrenochrome, however, is as enjoyable a human activity as anything I have yet engaged in. I'll put that meme in there for you later, all right? And this isn't like someone else has put this. This is from his own post. The elites are killing babies to drink blood called adrenochrome. They are sex trafficking, drugging them, and then eating the human meats. They are after the Lord God, is after the elites who are harming the women and the children for money and for their own power. The Lord will be coming after these guys. The real pandemic is the exploitation and trafficking of God's children. Adrenochrome supply has been cut off. It will die a slow, miserable death. Vampires, they told you that they were a myth, while they've consumed innocent, tortured baby blood to keep their illusion alive for centuries. And we were made to idolize these celebrities. What's really interesting here, do you remember Smallville? All right. All pertaining to, kind of like Superman and whatnot. Remember when it was a front page news that the actress from Smallwood was convicted in a sex cult and testified under oath that she sold children to the Clintons. Smallville star confesses she sold children to Rothschilds and to the Clintons. 300,000 missing immigrant children under the Biden-Harris administration, many potentially victims of trafficking. Adrenochrome, an immortality serum obtained from the adrenal gland of living children after they have been terrorized to get the highest levels of adrenaline. It has LSD-like qualities and is used also in satanic rituals. What's interesting here? Google. Let's just break that down for a second, shall we? Google. Do you remember reading about Google Chrome? And then the Google Chrome, which has the 666 in its logo. Google's GPU graphics processing unit, released in 2009, is named Adreno. And then the actual public part of all of that is called Chrome. I'll put that meme in there for you later, and you join the dots. Human trafficking is a 150 billion industry, second only to the drug trafficking industry. Every 30 seconds, a child is sold for sex, labor, or organ harvesting. The average victim is raped 6,000 times. 7 years is the life expectancy for sex trafficking victims. Putin vows to shut down Hollywood's adrenochrome supply chain. We've said it already. Monsters Inc. was not a cute movie about fuzzy little monsters scaring children. It was a documentary about satanic pedophiles terrorizing children and consuming their adrenalized blood. In China ramps up war on Christians, mass arrests, organs likely set for harvesting. I'll put that meme in there for you later as well. Canada is turning its assisted suicide regime into an organ donation supply chain. And this is where you come from, some of these, sort of like news agencies are starting to just normalize this for you by saying here, an article headline, I'll give it to you later. Can blood from young people slow aging? Silicon Valley has bet billions it will. And here from the New York Post, female cartel member La Diablo busted for running horrific baby trafficking organ harvesting rings. Coming from the Daily Mail, organ harvesting surges in woke dystopia, pushing euthanasia as a cure for depression. Organ harvesting has surged across Canada, fueled by controversial assisted suicide offered to battle people's depression, not terminal illness. Canada's euthanasia program has become a world leader in organ harvesting, with 15,280 doctor-assisted suicide deaths reported in just 2023 alone, a 15% increase from the previous year, and many of these patients were not, I repeat, were not terminally ill. The practice has drawn criticism for potentially pressurizing vulnerable individuals, including those with mental health struggles or socioeconomic hardships, to choose death so their organs can be donated. The Daily Mail UK headline claims Canada's euthanasia program is now a world leader in organ harvesting. The article highlights cases where individuals such as Catherine Mentler and Amir Fasood were offered or approved for medical assistance in dying due to depression and socio-economic distress, respectively, raising concerns about coercion and exploitation. Critics argue that the program may be exploiting vulnerable people, with some suggesting that the desire to donate organs could become a driver for requesting death, and that up to 25% of Ontario medical assistance in dying providers may have skirted the criminal code. The practice of, the practice of organ donation after euthanasia, sometimes referred to as kill and harvest, has been discussed in medical journals and is endorsed by some Canadian medical figures, with Canada accounting for 36% of global cases of organ donation after euthanasia. It's unbelievable, is it not? We need to stop and pray against this organ harvesting. Organs should not be taken without informed consent. No organ should be taken from a living human being. People who have been declared brain dead but still have a beating heart and circulation are still living and must not be classified as dead for organ harvesting. Hospitals caught using fake death certificates to harvest organs of living patients. Killing prisoners for transplant, forced organ harvesting in China. China's industrial-scale organ trafficking practice has been executing prisoners of conscience and using their organs for transplantation for decades. Organ harvesting surges in Canada as government rams up the euthanasia agenda, as the elites drink children's blood as some type of a health food. Even with the New York Post here, a study has found drinking young people's blood could help you live longer and prevent age-related disease. See how they're trying to normalize that? Bring it all out into the open? Here, pitifully, Sky News also. Drinking young blood could prevent age-related disease, studies finds. Good grief. Jerusalem Post. Survivors testify MK's participation in sadistic sexual rituals involving minors. I would so love to say that word right now, but I'm just not going to. All right. So let's just put this out there. All right. Biden is a pedophile. Obama is gay. Michelle is a dude. The elites drink babies' blood. Child trafficking is the elites' drug of choice. Epstein serviced the elites. The USA is a corporation. The immigrants coming over the border are fighting AIDS. Men who will attack everyone. The food we eat is poisoned on purpose. The COVID vax was meant to depopulate the world. The election was stolen. Hillary had RFK Jr. assassinated. Mail-in ballots were used to steal an election. And cancer is purposely caused by the government. You've got celebrities such as Lady Gaga has a new album titled Chromatica. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that celebrates extracting blood from the pineal glands of traumatized children. This adrenalized blood is the favorite drug of the elite known as Adrenochrome. Satanists that worship Molech and the Baphomite. Lady Gaga, with blood on her mouth for her album cover and her chest, seated next to 3 beautiful children drinking blood from their bottles. They want to call that art? Well, we call it what it is. Satanic child abuse. This is what this is what Mel Gibson had to say. Hollywood's elite kill innocent children and drink their blood. This is what he said. Gibson, who has spent the last 30 years working inside and out of the Hollywood regime, says that the industry hierarchy thrives on abuse, pain, torture, stress, and suffering. According to Gibson, the desire to inflict such abuse isn't limited to just the elite, but only those at the top of the food chain can afford such a luxury, although it's a goal for most people in the industry. He said, here, quoting, Hollywood is drenched in innocent children's blood. The references to paedophilia and cannibalism have always been there, but for years they were cryptic or symbolic. What's to see? I was introduced to these practices in the early 2000s and was threatened with serious repercussions should I ever speak out. And I don't mean my career, I mean my life was threatened. My family's life would be in danger. I can only talk about it now as those people, those industry executives, well, they're all dead now. They see the blood of a sexually abused infant as the ultimate prize and say that it's highly enriched. Babies are like a premium currency and hold a higher value of anything else you can think of, more valuable than diamonds, drugs, caviar, you name it. They are literally trading these kids like a currency for favors, for movie roles, and for kickbacks. So when they're flipping off all of their fingers saying, thank you so much, it's not just about the parts that they've been given, is it? What parts would that be, I wonder? It's important that we stop listening to these celebrities that are literally nothing more than satanic individuals. Megan Fox has a blood drinking ritual with Machine Gun Kelly and thinks social media is sinister. This is the satanic organized pedophilia. Well, at the very top, you've got the CIA managing it all with the war, the human hunting parties, Red Rum, pedophile snuff. They're also involved, the satanic organization, are involved in child porn industry, child sex trafficking, missing children, the red market, cannibalism, organ harvesting, human sacrifice, pedophilia. Hollywood celebrities are also in generationals of sexual abuse, satanic ritual abuses, Adrenochrome and walnut sauce, MK Ultra for monarch programming, and the satanic elites, bloodlines, and their families all connected in one big, circle of death. We reported, didn't we? Young blood could be the secret to long-lasting, life when it comes to the Adrenochrome in that particular way. Let's have a little look-see at this article, what it has to say to us today, guys. Vampire elite expose blood harvesting, young blood transfusions, and Hollywood's modern bloodsuckers. In the world of Hollywood and the ultra-wealthy, the obsession with eternal youth has plunged into territories that make vampire legends look tame. Celebrities aren't just slathering on creams or popping pills. They're diving headfirst into rituals involved in blood, foreskins, and mysterious young infusions sourced from who knows where. And at the heart of it all, whispers of adrenochrome, the oxidized adrenaline allegedly harvested from terrified children, promising the ultimate high and age-reversing power. Take the sorry guys, but take the infamous penis facial, a $650 treatment beloved by A-listers like Sandra Bullock and Kate Blanchett. Bullock raved about it on Ellen, calling it the penis facial because the key ingredient is epidermal growth factor derived from the clone cells originating from the foreskins of circumcised Korean newborns. Kate Blanchett confirmed she and Sandy Bullock got the treatment together in New York from facialist Georgia Louise, who explained the serum comes from progenitor cells of human fibroblasts taken from newborn baby foreskins. Now do you understand why things are in Israel? It's microneedled into the skin for that glowing youthful rebound. Harmless stem cell tech, they claim, or the elite's normalized way of consuming youth essence from the innocent. Then there's Megan Fox, who openly admits she and Machine Gun Kelly consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only. In interviews, Fox clarified it's just a few drops during new moon or full moon rituals, controlled when she does it, but MGK is much more chaotic about it, apparently, willing to cut his own chest open with broken glass and says, "Take my soul." In steps sort of like, Gary Oldman from Dracula. Do you know what I mean? Fox defended it as no bigger deal, comparing it to Blood Brothers or other ritual society accepts. But in a world where elites crave more than adult blood, this gateway ritual hints at darker sources for true potency, like the fear-charged adrenochrome from missing children. The bloodlust escalates, with the Kardashian clan jetting to illicit clinics in Mexico for illegal young blood treatments. Khloe Kardashian recently documented her trip to a clinic for Muse stem cell infusions, illegal in the US, involving plasma and cells touted for anti-aging recovery and inflammation reduction. She gussed about falling in love with stem cells, calling it a privilege and dreaming of it becoming accessible to all. But critics point out these Muse cells and young plasma therapies skirt FDA bans on unproven young blood transfusions. Khloe's sister Kim joined her, and conspiracy circles exploded. Is this the sanitized version of harvesting from young and vulnerable, masking the adrenochrome trade? Really is, isn't it, guys? So interesting how this all starts to freeze up when I get to the real nitty-gritty of it all. Sorry, guys. It's just frozen on me. There you go. Let's see if it will let us play again. Thank you, Lord. Here we go. This ties directly also into the start that again. This ties directly into the booming trend of therapeutic plasma exchange, TPE for short, or plasma phamhirsis, a 7,500 blood cleansing, where old plasma is spun out and replaced with healthy fluid. Biohackers like Brian Johnson, who once swapped plasma with his teenage son in a multi-generational experiment, though he later claimed no benefits, and Orlando Bloom are cycling their blood through machines, discarding toxic plasmas and infusing replacements. We're going to be arresting these guys when they're in their mountain and they're in their millionaire bunkers. We're going to be catching them at this. Johnson bragged his discarded plasma was the cleanest ever seen. So pure, the operator couldn't throw it away. It was literally liquid gold. I'll put this article in there for you later. The process, which involves 2 IVs, blood drawn into a machine that looks like an old school tape recorder, but with blood spinning around. The plasma stripped, replaced with albumin or other fluids. Doctors like Stefan Bornstein admit few evidence-based trials for anti-aging, yet clinics churn out thousands of treatments, removing age-related proteins and toxins. Dr. Keith Smigel recommends it every 6 months for affluent clients battling fatigue and brain fog. Unbelievable. Patients report zen-like clarity, sharper colors, boosted energy. Gary Brecker called it an internal detox and reset. But where does the replacement fluid really come from? Anonymous donors, perhaps, or young sources? In a procedure mirroring parabiosis, experiments where old mice rejuvenate from young blood, elites are effectively diluting their aged plasma with fresh infusions. And with thousands of children vanishing yearly, the adrenochrome angle looms large. Is plasmapheresis the perfect cover for injecting harvested youth essence oxidized from pure terror? Even radio host John J. Van Ness dropping 100,000 a year on biohacking is hooked on the 7,500 TPE. One more example of the wealthy paying top dollar for this spin cycle. It's not magic components, they say, just science clearing the bloodstream for peak function. But when celebrities ritualize blood drinking, smear baby foreskins on their faces, and flee to border clinics for banned young plasma, the pattern screams something more sinister. The elites' discarded plasma pouches pile up, while missing children cases mount. Coincidence? Or the ultimate elite perk? Adrenochrome-fueled immortality, hidden in plain sight, behind biohacking and good old detox. Excuse me. I'd like to see what you guys have got to say in about this, guys. That's it. I'm not going to cover it anymore. I think after an hour and a quarter, God bless you all, 27 of you here, and who the Lord's brought in here already. Thank you so much for your graciousness and bearing with me as we do this. Guys, I know this isn't nice, and I know it's not pleasant. Okay, it really isn't, but we have to speak out. Sometimes it's easy to want to turn a blind eye. Sometimes it's easier to say, you know what, I'll report on something else, or maybe I'll just, I won't cover it. And it's just like, no, this is not. It's just millions upon millions and millions and millions and countless people being organ harvested. Now we're seeing the real drive on medical assistance in dying, seeing a real drive on euthanasia, are we not? So forgive me, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. Really do appreciate that. Let's see what some of y'all have got to say. Yeah. Let's see where we are. Okay, I got back to Christian Bale. I like that. Obey Buggy is. That's a good one. That guy, man. It did share. It all started in Genesis 3. Satan's been trying to destroy who we are, made in his image, ever since. Exactly. It's to distort the beautiful image of the Lord, isn't it? you know, and just change it for this sort of like bestiality, sort of like man with boobs, Baphomet, Satanist, goat. Ooh, sick in the head, these lot. Hi there, last days discerning mum. Okay. Dear family, if I might ask for prayers, my youngest son is an alcoholic. God bless him. I had to block him the other day after he got out of control and forcibly stole my keys. Please pray God shakes him sober. Our prayers will be with him. I'll put that on my prayer list a little bit later there. I'm really sorry. Not to rub your hand in it or face in it in a sense. But on our sort of like Rumble channel, there's some videos there on addiction. Okay, and there's some practical interventions as well in those videos, guys. You can have a little look at. There's no judgment for him or whatever. I was caught up in addiction for myself. I used to smoke about a week, an ounce and a half of weed every week, and I used to drink sometimes, and then 10, 12, bits and bobs of beer and whatever. The Lord convicted me. The Lord got hold of me. The Lord Jesus set me free from all of that addiction. I don't drink. I don't smoke now. All glory to God. I'm aware that people are just at different ends of that. And, I have a heart for those that are caught up in an addiction lifestyle. I really, really do. So you can also go over to our Grace Ministry channel that we've got on YouTube as well, where there's those sort of things there. But yeah, praying for your dear son there as well. And also for you. It's not easy seeing that go down with your children. So God bless you. We will be praying. I'll remember that. Hi, Spiritual Logic for Truth. Please do bless our dear brother over on Spiritual Logic for Truth. The guy comes out with some absolutely incredible sort of like resources, some amazing videos, absolutely insanely interesting. You've got a real gift there, my friend, in terms of that. A real honor to be journeying alongside you. You are most welcome. Please do go and subscribe to our dear brother and go see for yourself the good work that the Lord's got this guy doing as well on the wall. He really is one of the very few people that is also exposing evil. So God bless you, sir. Thank you for being here. Everyone's showing him some love. That's good, man. That's what we need. Yeah. Spiritual Logic for Truth saying I just posted a short about that evil Elon is promoting. what evil? That could be a long list there, buddy, but I know where you're going with it. Okay, here we go. Dan, Thursday is Thanksgiving here in the US, so a lot of people here will be with family and probably won't be catching that day. Just for your information. That's okay. I'm still going to be here. You know what I mean? It's okay. I do. Can I just say no comment on, like, as a Brit when it comes to Thanksgiving? All right. Okay. Not from its origin base. Can I just add and move on? But bless you, I'm aware that's a big deal for my American cousins, and I will show respect a little bit, and I won't say nothing else, but you know where I'm going with it there now. Come on. I'll be working anyway, and we'll take the day off afterwards. All right. Or maybe I'll just take Thursday off then, and then just start, and then I don't know. I'll have a think about that. Nah, man, I'll be there Thursday. I'm going to stick to my values and my principles. All right. Talking about immigration. Come on. Yeah, absolutely. Last day discerning mum. They will be judged one day soon. This is it. Could you imagine the horror of that? Hi, Kevin. God bless you. Bless you. Thank you. Catching this later. Imagine that. Imagine having to. I hate my brain sometimes because it really goes to an awesome visual. You could just imagine, right? I'm going to put it into your head now. Okay, but you imagine having to sort of like look Jesus in the eye and give an account of what you did. I am terrified about that already. That's why we've been saying how great God has given us this opportunity to get our houses in order, so that when we have that sort of like quick Q&A, it ain't going to be so bad for us. Obviously, the Bema seat, pertaining to the rewarding of what we've done in our works once we've been saved. But that's cool. And there's like, seriously, could you imagine that? I'm going to struggle, and I think every single soul on earth should really struggle. They should really struggle with like looking Jesus in the eye. Really? That's going to be a tough one, isn't it, for me? I'm going to be looking out for a trapdoor personally and sheets of plastic. I will be. I will be. I know I'm saved, and it's fine. I don't doubt that at all. But there's just like we're in the presence of holy God. Can you imagine what it's going to be like for these individual people? And could you imagine also what this would what it could be like for these guys that have, you know, abused all these individuals? And imagine what hell's going to be like for them, because if you've been sent to hell, and do you know what I mean? And then some of these guys that came in and profited from that, like the Bill Gates, all these guys that think they're going to be reigning in hell and all of that nonsense, that ain't going to be it. If you're in there, you're going to want a piece of them, aren't you? Oof, I know I would be right after those guys. Oof. Oh, it's so inconceivable. There's no reverence. There's no sanctity of life. Nothing is sacred. Things that are meant to be kept pure. Oh. Yeah, some people are saying about the job market. They're just deliberately doing it. Will be replaced. Wasn't Disney started by Mason? Yeah, absolutely. 33-degree Mason. Took it all from that, you know, absolute monster Walt Disney was. And then you got the 666 in the logo of the Walt Disney and everything else. Yeah, absolutely was. Just grooming. Yeah, Beowulf. Yeah, pretty much. Hi there, Michelle. Bless you. Oh, you're up. 7:36. Good for you. I like that. God bless everyone here today. God bless Canada. That's all I'm saying. God bless Canada, because we've been reading out quite a bit, man, about our Canadian brothers and sisters in terms of like what you guys have got it really bad. It is literally sort of like, you know, polar opposite, isn't it? You've got like, you know, those that live up on the sort of like northwest to those that are in the southeast. You've got Australia being taken down and out, and then you've got poor old Canada as well. Oh man. Yeah, Club 33 at Disney, so that's a yes. Yeah, pretty much. We've got videos on that as well if you want to see them in our Rumble channel. Yes, know about the red, yep, the red shoe as well. I did find a meme about that earlier that I was going to put in. I thought, I maybe won't do that. It was also connected to the Black Eye Club as well, and I was a bit like, that's interesting. But then I thought, no, don't go down the rabbit hole that far, bruv. All right, pull yourself back. But yes, I did, and it is very sick. All of it is sick. Like I've been saying, guys, haven't we? These guys are so depraved. In any other situation, they'd be locked up in a mental health institution, and they'd be so docile that they'd be so drugged on their own products. They'd just be sat in some sort of like, you know, corner, rocking like this, drooling. But no, they will not escape God. And exactly, you imagine that's what it's going to be like for us when we come back as well. If these idiots are fortunate enough to get through and survive the tribulation, we will be dragging these guys out. We're going to need these orders of the Lord. Okay, Lord, what do I do? This is what I'd be saying to him. Lord, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to protect them? Do you want me to go and rescue them? Do you want me to go and, you know, defend them? Or Lord, do you just want me to just go have at it and just hard duking everything in sight? I'm hoping he gives me the latter, to be fair. Yeah, absolutely. Obey bug eaters. Kardashians openly does vampire facials where they inject supposedly their own blood into their face. It's like, you've got to be really sick in the head to do this sort of stuff, haven't you? No, I didn't mention it earlier. No, I just wanted to cap it a little bit, but thank you. Thank you for bringing that in. I could have done something about it, but I didn't. I chose to keep it to this. Hi, Bride of Christ. Bless you. Blessings to each of you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to a really difficult subject. It is not nice. But over here on our channel, we do that. You've got to be tough-skinned here and thick-skinned a little bit to be on this channel, to listen to all of this stuff. But it's important that we also just, get rid of it all. Yeah. She's saying, Michelle, the poop has red shoes. Michelle was saying, I hate Facebook. I use it for marketplace. I absolutely can't stand Facebook. I came off that about 4 or 5 years ago. best thing ever. And that stupid messenger as well. I was like, nah, man, I'm just got no time for that alien reptilian Zuckerberg. Ugh. Yeah, it's one to miss for me for sure. Yeah, they said they were from Korean babies. It's just like, really? Yeah, exactly. Google Chrome, and then you'd see, I mean, the programs, it's just like, these guys don't mess about with some of this, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, real mockery and scoffery. And after this live, I will put that in there for you, Michelle, and others here. All right, I'll put it in. All right, that's what I found. I didn't actually know about that. I didn't honestly know about it. I confess I didn't. I learned something today, and that's great that I continue to learn and grow. But was because all I ever saw was just the Google Chrome with the 666 and everything else that was connected. That's all I saw. But I didn't know about the Adrenochrome bit and then the actual public bit being Chrome. It's like, come on, that's so obvious. And when you see it in the way that it's presented later, you'll be just like, no. And then our Australian sort of like brothers and sisters are having to give up their facial, you know, recognition and their iris scan and voice and stuff and all that sort of stuff and digital ID so that they can use Google. Really? That's even more insulting, is it not? I'd be like, nah, mate. That's why we're back on Telegram, guys. All right, just for my Australian brothers and my sisters. But if you want to go over there as well, you're more than welcome. Seriously crazy. Yeah. Laurie's saying stop using Google for years. I would have loved to, but they're sadly they are the monopoly. So you got to go there sometimes. Bride of Christ is saying it for me. Thank you for all this disgust. I can't wait for God's wrath. That's it. It's just going to be like I've been saying, when Jesus comes back in his glory and he sort of descends down upon the Antichrist and destroys him with the splendor and the brightness of his coming. I'm hoping that Jesus actually just like rips him to bits, and it is painful. Do you know what I mean? There's a part of me that thinks that's a bit dark, Dan. Don't go there, dude. And visually, I'm thinking, and I want to be right next to the Lord Jesus when he does that. Because it's like, have it, son. And I don't mind if I get sprayed, if the Lord turns me into some, you know, Barbie-fied gown. I don't care if it all goes pink. I don't care. But it's like, no, absolutely. It's like, no. This is not okay. It's not okay. Can't wait for the Lord to actually have at it and declare his wrath. This earth needs it. It needs the judgment. I'm in agreement with it. As a Christian, we should be in agreement with the judgments of God. The 7 bowls, 7 seals, 7 trumpets. And that's why I want to get up there at some point and just go and really wind up the 2 witnesses. Because Moses had a bit of an anger problem. I really want to get in that man's face. I really do. Do you know what I mean? And Elijah, who I think the other one is, he wasn't having none of it after. He had a bit of a dark side too. Remember when he was turning around to all these guys, these prophets say, come on, cut yourself deeper. Come on, scream a bit louder. He was having a right old mock and scoff with these guys. He wasn't messing, was he? And then turning around and then calling out a curse on these young people. And then a bear or a lion or something, I can't remember which one it was, comes out and mauls all of these youth. These guys knew what was up. I'm so glad that the Lord has that and not a few sort of like, oh, can we just sit around and gather around and have a little discussion and a come by heart about it? And do you know what I mean? It's like, no. We're not going to be going, you know, we're going to be going, rrr. Instead, can't wait for that. So I'm with you, Bride of Christ. Yeah. Michelle saying, I was just telling my friend about Monsters Inc. and what it was really about. It's awful, isn't it? And I you know, you watch these things and you don't know. And then when you realize this, you're just like, how stupid do I feel and look right now? Michelle saying medical assistance in dying. And they're offering this to children as well without parents' consent. Here in Canada, the way they do the suicide is horrible because they haven't. It's sick in the head, isn't it? And you can't trust what these guys are putting in the food. And I was there 3 weeks ago with my brother-in-law saying, nah, mate, I ain't going to Mackie D's. I'll have a coffee, bruv, and I'll keep to that. Are you hungry? Yeah, man, I'm starving, but I'm not stupid enough to eat children's body parts, thanks. And he was like, oh, you're talking rubbish. I said, mate, here you go. Showed him all of the evidence. Still didn't care. Oh, but it tastes so good. I'm just like, dude, get a grip, man. Seriously, I can't go anywhere near that. Oh, bless you. No, you're valued. Do not go down that road, Michelle. Excuse me. Yeah, no, exactly. It's not quick. It's not quick. There's no. It's, you know, I need to talk about suicide then as well. This is getting really cheerful. But it's not. That's passing your hurt and your pain onto somebody else. That's not okay. All right, that really is. That's trying to tell God with your last bit of power left over your life that you're quitting and you're throwing in the towel. That's also quite aggressive as well. I've had a few moments where I've thought on that. I'm telling you right now, man, instead of going to a hospital, I'd rather see myself out. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you that much for sure. But yeah, no, not outside of that, not under those circumstances. But I do get while some people have that, you know, nowhere else to turn. They don't feel like they have anybody to talk to. They feel that anyone cares about them. You know, please do see some of our videos, or my email is mrdtrendell at gmail.com. An email if that's where your head's at, you know, and I'll point you to some resources. Life is so valuable. People are valuable. And this is part of it. When you get really down, you get really depressed, and this doesn't seem like anywhere else out for that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Laurie. Part of the Baphomet is part woman and part man, with a man breast with 2 children at his feet. Do you know what I mean? That's what was going to be great, coming down, taking down all these sort of like, market, the beast towers and statues and everything else. I'll have Baphomet things everywhere, won't they? Probably have them in every single, village square, town square, city centre, no doubt. And we'll be having so much fun obliterating those. Last age, Sony Mum saying that was all chewed down. Yeah. No, exactly, Michelle. They don't know exactly what's on its way. It's like these guys are literally in front of their own firing squad going, na, 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 na. And you're just sort of like, you know what I mean? You're just there just thinking, dude, you do not want to be mouthing off right now. Unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely, Laurie. Evil likes to brag. Yeah, God will have the final word. This is every knee will bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Oof. I would not. I'd want to go up to the angel afterwards, when he's finished with all of this, after he has dragged all of these people kicking and screaming and weeping and gnashing of teeth. I want to go up and give that guy the biggest hug ever, and I'd be, mate, I love you. Mate, I'm so sorry. Oh, mate. Oh, man, come and have some food. Come and have a beer with me, mate, or something. Do you know what I mean? But like, dude, let me just serve you. You imagine how horrific that's going to be for some of these guys. What it's going to be like for some of you lot as well. As you're sitting on, throne judgments, judging these individuals that do some of these things. Keep an eye out for this, blood rituals and all of this organ harvesting. We're keeping an eye out on it all. We'll be reigning with a rod of iron with the Lord Jesus Christ. We'll have some of these instances. When we come back, we'll be rescuing factories of children, of women, and everything else. We'll be arresting doctors and all these sorts of guys that want to bow down to this evil with all of their clone babies and their army clone babies. We'll be running them through in an instant, those abominations. They won't be surviving the tribulation. None of what the beast system is putting up right now will survive the 7-year tribulation. As to whether or not Jesus literally just, does some with his hands or breathes out something and it all just disintegrates, I have no idea. But saving that, we are the ones that are going to find these guys, because they're going to be literally everywhere, cowering in some cave or in some mountain, soiling themselves. I'm sorry, but my pity is going to go out the window. I will show them the utmost love. Can I get, be Jesus to them in a sense? And if they don't want to come, quietly, thank you very much. I was hoping for that. Serious, not messing about. Yeah, exactly. They feed off this energy. Absolutely. Bride of Christ, we immediately meditate on eternity, what it's going to be like for us. No more suffering, no more death, no more lying, no more stealing, no more shadiness, none of any of it. How beautiful it's going to be in the light, to be in dark, not to be in darkness anymore, not to have that blanket around us. What it's going to be like to have the things that are pure, the things that are holy, things that are set apart. What it's going to be like to be in the presence of the Lord Jesus, to feel his love, feel his embrace, to know of his heart, what's on his mind, to know his voice and all the things that he's prepared for us in our homes, in our relationships, and in the future with the new heaven and the new earth, let alone what it is that we will be doing for the 1,000-year millennium with him as well, what jobs and things he's got assigned for us. We have so much to look forward to, and these pervert individuals, they have hell to look forward to. Unless they're calling on the name of the Lord to be saved, that's it, that's their destination. As we've said, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. 1 John 1:9. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all righteousness. 2 Corinthians 3:18. And we all, with unveiled face, beholding the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image. This is the image we were talking about earlier, into Jesus's image, having been made in his image. This is why these guys want to distort things when it comes to the DNA. 2 Corinthians 5:10, we're just talking about this now. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each one may receive what is due for what he has done in the body, whether good or evil. Therefore, knowing the fear of the Lord, we persuade others. You don't want to do that. But what we are is known to God. This is you and I hope it is known also to our conscience. 2 Corinthians 4:4. In their case, the God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. John 15:1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. John 3:36. Whoever believes in the Son has eternal life. Whoever does not obey the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God remains on him. Talking about that trapdoor moment, weren't we there, guys? John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Let's go to Revelation. 3 times. Let's just put this one down. Revelation 21:8. But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for murderers, as for the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death. Revelation 20:11-15. Then I saw a great white throne and him who sat on it. From his presence, earth and sky fled away, and no place was found for them. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were open. Then another book was opened, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged by what was written in the books according to what they had done. And the sea gave up the dead who were in it. Death and Hades gave up the dead who were in them, and they were judged, each one of them, according to what they had done. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. That is the second death, the lake of fire. And if anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. Powerful words. Life and death giving almost. 1 John 3:8. Whoever makes a practice of sinning is of the devil, for the devil has been sinning from the beginning. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the works of the devil. Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. 1 Corinthians 1:18. For the word of the cross is folly to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. And lastly, Romans 10:13. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. There you go, guys. Thank you very much. Here we've read out the Vampire Elite Exposed, looking at the blood harvesting, young blood transfusions, and Hollywood's modern bloodsuckers. Guys, I will put a sort of like thumbnail on this particular live, and then there will be 3 other sort of like community posts, encouraging you also to go over to our kind of sort of like Telegram channel as well, where we put up a video there earlier this morning looking at the sort of like, state of the police, or the police state, whichever you prefer. Okay, a video around, sort of like 10,000 arrests for those that have been posted on social media. Some really good clips and images there for you. That's also put up on our Rumble channel as well. And so, guys, look out for that. We will be back again tomorrow. Really would like to thank our team here, and each of you also, guys, that have been able to sit through this. I will be praying for some of the prayer requests that we've heard of as well, pertaining to a dear one here who's struggling with a few things, and also just praying for you and yours, and that you're able to sort of like just wash that off. Just offer up a prayer for those that the Lord, might put in your heart. Put a prayer out for the children. Put a prayer out for those women and those that are vulnerable. Pray also for our enemies and those that do these sort of evils and abominations, and that there would be those that would, continue to fight and expose this absolute depravity. So God bless you guys. We will talk again soon. Bye-bye.